programs or for executing the programs. Executing the programs. That is called what? Type of platform means a type of OS being used for running or executing the program. Well, the meaning of platform independent. Independent means what? Not at all depending on the OS. Okay. So I'm writing an application or an application. I'm writing carefully, try to understand. Today's little complicated explanation I'm giving, a more technical explanation I'm giving. Try to catch this. I'm going to get up that. An application or language is said to be platform independent, is said to be platform independent if and only if, you might be knowing that IFF, I hope you are aware of that, if and only if whose every OS, such a type of things are called what? Platform independent. Once again, an application or program or a language is said to be platform independent if and only if, IFF meaning is if and only if, whose programs runs on every OS. That means we never bother about which type of OS the application is using. Without worrying about the OS, the program will run. In simple words, in morning I will run my application in Windows OS. The same application in afternoon I will run it in Mac OS. The same application in the evening I can run on Unix OS without changing a single line of code. That is known as what? Platform independent. Okay, up to that it is okay, very nice. But what is the technical proof for that? That is what I am going to explain. Okay, now if I come to that, languages comparison, students. Languages comparison I want to give. Languages comparison I am going to give. Let me look at the languages comparison, my dear students here. What are the languages comparison? If you take it, C, C++, etc., the olden days languages are called what, you know? Platform dependent. Platform dependent. I will explain this. Platform dependent. Carefully try to understand. I am not going to say this line and I am not saying it's over. I'm trying to show some programmatic explanation with the proof. Why this is called a program? Why this is called a platform dependency? What is the practical answer for that you are giving, sir? Next, I'm going to say Java, you take it. Java is called platform independent. Platform independent. I'm going to say platform independent. I'm adding the word called independent. Well, okay. Now there I'm giving why. Next I'm going to say Python. Python is also called what? Platform independent. Then what is the difference between Java and this one? I'm going to give. Difference between Java platform independent and then Python platform independent. And whether you take it as a more deep knowledge or for more clarity purpose, I'm giving here. And the major component in Python is called what, you know? Objects. Today I'm going to talk about the biggest term called what? Objects storage. Object data storage I'm going to explain. This is my ultimate word which I would like to give at this stage. Maybe for you today you are listening the first time about the word called objects. From now onwards you are going on hearing about only objects information. Okay, so let me continue, my dear students. Objects importance after a few minutes you will come across. First, let's start with what? Language comparison. I will revise once again these points. Let me go to the some small description which I am going to take it in something like a colorful explanation I want to give. Now carefully listen, students. Now, dear students, when I come to this place, I'm taking C, you take it, C++ you take it, Java you take it, and Python you take it. Any kind of programming languages, if you take it, if you take any programming languages, if you take it, there is a concept called data types. This is what a long explanation I am going to give you. There is a concept called what? Yes, there is a concept called data types. Well, sir, what is the data types actually, sir? Data types means everybody will think that storage, something they will think. Of course, I am not going to say whether you are correct or not. I am not commenting. If you want me to comment on your answer, that is called wrong answer. I am going to give you data types are always meant for allocating the memory space for storing our inputs. That is the actual answer of data types. If anybody says their own answer, I need a programming proof I said already in the class. From the last 3 to 4 days, 3 days onwards, we are going on understanding the only practical discussions in the class. Suppose this is one thing I am going to explain. Suppose I am writing one C program. Look at that. This is my C program. Or I am writing some C program. Or I am writing C++ program. Or I am writing Java program. Of course, I am not criticizing you or saying something to you. But one thing I can say to you. In C language, we have certain data types. How many data types are there in C language? You are completely not aware of it. You know only 4 data types: int, float, bool, char. If you ask me, I will tell 20 data types. 20. You know only 4. 20 data types are there. I'm not going to say you are wrong or something, because your trainer has given only 4. You learned 4. Your mistake is not there. If the trainer explains everything, if you understand everything, that is called a success story. Well, don't worry. Unfortunately, we are not belongs to C programming. We are belongs to, fortunately, the programming called what? Yeah. For this C program, for the C++ program, for the Java program, whatever the program you are writing, carefully try to understand. My ultimate words which I am going to give you here is for objects data storage purpose. Well, coming to this discussion, students, here I am going to give. Here I am going to give some type of input. What is an input I am giving? Employee number, employee name, I am giving Rosam, father of Python language. And 4.6, company name is called PSF. Company name is called PSF. What is this data, my dear students? Input. What is this, ma? This is called input. This input must be stored in where? Must be stored in where? Main memory of the computer. Because actually you must have the knowledge of what the terms I am using. Main memory and secondary memory. 2 types of memories are there. Main memory means where you can store the data temporarily, where the data is stored, and the data will be processed by your program and output will be generated. Such type of results want to store permanently, I will use secondary memory. That is called your hard disk. Or I can use your database also. In our programming, we will talk about how to store the data permanently in the part of what? Files as well as database softwares. Well, now I am going to say, I will allocate some memory space for storing the number. I will allocate some memory space for storing the name. I will allocate some memory space for storing the salary of an employee. I will allocate some memory space for storing the company name where they are working it. So the number is called 10. The name is called Rosam. The name is called Rosam. The next is called 4.6. And the next is called what here, you know? PSF. I'm going to write here PSF. So I'm writing PSF. What this is nothing but memory space is allocated here. This is called memory space is created. Who will create the memory space for my inputs? The one and only beautiful concept called what? Data types. Data types. And my dear students, I'm going to say one thing. In C language, there are so many data types are there. And I don't want to criticize you or nothing because it's not necessary, but I'm saying that student is not at all good even in one or two data types also, because all the data types are designed according to the IEEE 754 base paper calculation. These are all called scientific explanation I am giving it. Even in your Google, after class is over, you type IEEE 754, you'll get a biggest explanation about the data types, which is followed by all the language developers. Dennis Ritchie, you take it, father of C language. James Gosling, you take it, father of Java. Stroustrup, father of C++. All those people, they designed the data types by following this IEEE 754 base paper calculation. Since you are in Python, there are 14 data types are there. If you take, because some of the students already learned Python in your college days somewhere. And some working professionals also there in my class. If you look at one or two data types are maximum, they will tell 3 data types. But in my class, I'm going to teach how many data types you know. Of course, don't feel that I'm going to boast about my class. I'm going to discuss 14 data types in detail. That I am just writing it. Very shortly, we are going to enter into Python data types. Just I'm writing it for your clarity purpose. You need not to mention it. Just to look at int, float, bool. Next is called complex. Next is complex, str, bytes. Next is called byte array. Next is called range. Next is called list. Next is called tuple. Next is called set. Next is called frozen set. I'll write somewhere else dict. And next is called what? None type. These are the data types in Python. Generally, if you take, of course, I'm not boasting here. If you take any student, they will know only these 3. Because of that, in lifetime, we never get the job. That is very simple. And we are not interested in doing this. We are interested in doing this. Data structures in Python, we need to learn it. Yellow t-shirt, stand up once. Stand up, Amma. What is the problem? Huh? No, sir. What is the problem, yours? Anything happens in your body? Stand up once again. You also stand up. Any problem there? Any problem there? Please leave the system and try to take outside. Okay. Last and final. Here, no such irregular activities. This is different. Be careful in this. Otherwise, you have severe different things. If you want to learn. Otherwise, there are a lot of people are there outside who are unemployed, roaming on the roads. Take care by yourself. Okay. Right. You also looking different, something. Take care by yourself. So coming to the point of it, 4 data types are available. Int, float, bool, and then what? Complex. Fine. So totally how many data types are there? 14 data types are there. Don't disturb the class. Try to save the life of the people who are sitting others. Now, these 14 data types, very shortly, we are going to explain in detail. In detail, we are going to enter very shortly. Now here, when I do discussion towards this part, I'm going to discuss. Towards this discussion, I'm going to enter here. I just almost coming to this area. Towards this part, I'm going to start my discussion. That's why a small blueprint is given. So in the main memory of the computer, with the help of data types, the memory space is created. This is the inputs. Stored in where? Main memory. With the help of what? Yes. Why do you use data types? Last and final question. Always used to store our inputs by allocating sufficient amount of memory space. Sufficient amount of, right. Now I'm entering. Whenever you learn C language, data types are there. C++ data types are there. Java data types are there. Finally, Python data types I am going to explain. Well, now coming to the next part, Coming to the next part, one more paint screen I am taking. Look at that, what I am going to explain there. Very easy. Take C comma C plus data types I am talking for 2 minutes. To prove that C, C++ languages are called what? Language data types. To prove that they are called platform dependent. Platform dependent. So to prove that, I'm going to discuss. Well, so in this place, what I'm going to explain, if you are having any knowledge about the data types, I'm going to write. Here I'm taking data type name. I'm taking. What are the data types names I'm writing in C language? You try to spell out on your own. Check your knowledge. One is what? Int. What is int? Don't tell integer. Don't tell integer. That is your original knowledge. Flashback. That's why we don't get the job. What is int? Right. Answer is not coming. Don't worry. What is int? By the time if I leave you, you will say integer. Right. I am not expecting that. I will explain something for you. C language I am asking. I am not explaining my Java. It is your flashback. And I already said in my class, no need to have any knowledge on C, CPP. That's why I'll start with my own knowledge. With original standards, I will keep. What is float? Next, double is there. Next, char is there. Like that. Unsigned int, signed int, long int, unsigned long int, short int, signed int, shined short int, unsigned short int. There are so many number of data types are there. Okay. By learning these 4 data types, since you know these data types, I'm talking about only this. And with this, if you understand most technically, you will understand. C students, data types will take the memory space. To allocate the memory space for my inputs, data types are required. And it helps the requirement of what? It helps the need of what? Operating system also. The int data type, first of all, int, float, all these things are called keywords. In which language? They are acting as what? Data types. They are acting as what? First of all, int, float, double, etc. are called what? Keywords. First, you try to make it one thing clarified. All the data types in C language are called what? Keywords. Keywords means what? Reserved words. They have some specific meaning to the language compilers. Whenever I say int, it will allocate on DOS-based operating system, on MS-based, Microsoft-based operating system. It allocates 2 bytes of memory space. What is that bytes? It's a measurement of our memory space. Bits, bytes, KBs, MBs, GBs, terabytes, etabytes, petabytes, zettabytes, zettabytes. There are memory spaces. One day in my class, I'll show the memory list with the TVs, zettabytes, and etc. Okay, it's not necessary now. If the same data type, if I use this int data type on DOS, it will take 2 bytes. Carefully understand. Next, I'm going to use Unix. On Unix operating system, it will take, 4 bytes. It will take 4 bytes. On DOS operating system, it will take how many bytes? 2 bytes. On Unix operating system, it will take how many bytes? 4 bytes. It is a minimum knowledge every student must understand. Whether your faculty has explained or not, you open any dummy C notebook or any website, you open it, data types and their memory spaces configuration, you open it, you will come across. Coming to the float, it will take 4 bytes with 7 binary bits as decimal places. 7 binary bits as decimal places. I'm talking about pure technical knowledge here. If you don't know this, don't think that he is explaining something. I'm talking about purely programming aspect, not academic kind of angle. 7 bits. If you come to this Unix, it will take 8 bytes with 7 bits as decimal places. Yes, what? decimal places. In my class, I will explain in Python what are the 7 decimal places, what is the scientific notation of these decimal places. All those things I will give in detailed answer. Well, next coming to the double, it will take here, 8 bytes, 8 bytes on DOS based operating system, 8 bytes on DOS based operating system with 15 binary bits, 15 binary bits as a decimal places. Similarly, if I come back to the Unix, if I come back to the Unix operating system, it will take 16, it will take 16 bytes with the 15 binary bits as decimal places. Except a character. Character will take 1 byte, character will take 1 byte. Except this character data type, I'm giving an exceptional case. Except this character data type, rest of the data types, even if I continue that, rest of the data types, if I continue, if you observe it carefully, I'm going to ask you one small conclusion. On DOS based operating system, 2 bytes. On Unix based operating system, it will take what? What do you mean by that? If I develop my real-time project on Microsoft based operating systems, and if I complete it, if I use my data type called int throughout my entire application, it will take how many bytes? After development of my application, if I switch over to what? Non-Microsoft operating system, it can't run immediately. Are you getting my point? Because memory variation will be there compulsory. Or if I develop my project in Unix based operating system where I am using int, which is called how many bytes? After completion of my project, if I go to the client organization where they are having what? Microsoft based operating systems are there, my project will not run directly. That's why, whether you are aware of this or not, in real time, if I develop any C, C++ or any type of real-time projects on whichever operating system you developed it, in the client organization also, they will recommend you take the same OS. Are you getting my point? Why same OS is required? For platform compatibility. Platform means what? Type of OS being used, I said. I developed on which OS, for example? Unix OS. And I am trying to install on which OS? Will it able to run? Definitely no. Why? There is a difference in memory space or not? Difference in, because it is taking some bytes on some other operating system, some other bytes on some other operating system. Is it the memory variation is there or not? Hence, these languages are dependent or independent. Understand? Dependent or independent? Independent means not depending on anybody. Suppose you are an independent. I am not depending on anybody. I can take my own decisions. Suppose you are depending on some person. Until that person says bill, you will not move anywhere else. That is called what? Dependency and independence in English words. Come on. The operating system called DOS and Unix, memory space is varying from one operating system to. So is my C, C++ programming languages are dependent on OS or independent from OS? Right. I'm going to give a small conclusion here. Hence, C, C++, C++ programming languages and their applications are what? Platform. What is that? Platform dependent. Platform dependent because the data types memory space is changing from one OS to, very good, from one OS to what? That's why C, C++ languages are what? Platform dependent. I hope I am clear about this. I hope I am clear about this sentence. Is it clear? Well, so changing from one OS to another OS, it is nothing but what? C, C++ languages are what? Dependent or independent? Dependent. The first point you must understand, compulsory question, it is coming in interview point of view. Why C, C++ languages are platform independent? You can say happily, the C, C++ language data types varying the memory space from one OS to, that's why they are purely depends on type of OS being used. That's why these languages are platform dependent. Clarity? Shall I move to next language? See my description, students. Here C, C++ or what? Why? Because data types memory space is varying from one OS to, well, now I am coming to where? Java. Slowly I will come to where also? Well, now I am coming to where? Very good. Please pay the good attention towards my class. Yes. Now I am talking about Java related environment. It's well, Java programming language environment I am going to talk. Java programming language environment I am going to talk. Environment. Yes. Here also there are two different things are there, data types. Once again I am asking the question, all the data types in C language are called what? All the data types in C language are called what? Keywords. Keywords are nothing but what? Reserved words. And they have some specific meaning to the language compilers. I'll explain what is the compiler and interpreter more detail about it. Well, the keywords memory space is changing from one OS to where? Another OS. That's why they are known as what? Platform dependent. Platform? Well, now I am coming to Java. Here, there are varieties of explanation I will give you, The variety of explanation I am giving. Left side, I am giving some explanation. Why I am giving this entire explanation? Because I want to give a expert explanation in my class for every programming aspect. I can say simple word. In Python, everything is stored in the form of object. Memory space never vary from one OS to another OS. That's why Python is a very big platform independent language. A student cannot understand. A professional can understand what is the meaning of object. I want to explain. That is my intention, to bring such a ultimate statement into the brain of the students. That is my intention. Coming to the Java data types. See, my dear students, data types in Java, we are having 8 data types are there. I will just write, please look at. Number 1 is called byte. Number 2 is called short. Number 3 is int. Next is long. That is one variety of integer category. Next is called float. Next is called double. Next is called char. Next is called boolean. These are called predefined data types. Predefined, already defined, built-in, also called as a primitive data type. There are a lot of names are there. Okay, sir. On DOS-based operating system, see, my dear students, on DOS-based operating system, on Unix-based operating system, byte will take 1 byte only. It never change the memory space from one OS to another OS, my dear students. It never change from one OS to another OS like our previous languages. C, C++ into data type changes from one OS to, that is called what? Well, the Java data types takes what? Same memory space on all OSs. Come on to this point. Short. Short will take how many bytes? Unix also it will take what? Don't misunderstand. Same memory space means for all the things it is 111 byte only. No. One data type, that memory space, same. Did you understand? Well, see, students, int you come 4 bytes, 4 bytes. 4 bytes. Next, long will take 8 bytes and then what? 8 bytes. And I did not ask an ultimate question. If I ask ultimate question now, you will say, sir, we don't know anything in computer science, you will say. I am asking this pure question from MCA and BTech CSE student. I will ask that ultimate question to you. Wait. And you don't feel because of my question? Anybody help, I will give 1 week time, you find out and come to me. But I will show the answer with practicals. Well, no problem. Come on to the point. Here 4 bytes with 7 binary bits. I hope I am writing shortcut, 4 bytes with, well, here it is called what? Same. 4 bytes with 7 binary bits as decimal places. Well, Double 8 bytes with 15 binary bits. Here 8 bytes with 15 binary bits. Character will take 2 bytes. Java characters will take 2 bytes. C++ character will take 1 byte. It is also one biggest question in interview. Majority of the people, except working people, academic people are not aware of it. And we did not a question to the faculty. Sir, why C++ 1 byte? Why Java is 2 bytes? We never get the thought. Because this question is only coming in interview. Next, Boolean will take nothing. No memory space it will take. Why it won't take memory space? I'll explain to you in my Python programming. Come on, students. Now conclude immediately. On DOS operating system, on Unix operating system, is the data types of our Java changes from one OS to another OS? Come on, ma. Is it changing from one OS to another OS? No. Hence, all these data types remains same memory space on all types of OSs. Hence, Java is very good. Once again, I am asking a question. All the data types in Java are also called what? Keywords, whose memory space remains the same on every OS or not? Come on. And hence Java applications are what? Platform. Good. On what way it is platform independent? Memory space remains same. If I develop my application on which OS, happily I can run in afternoon DOS, evening I will run Mac, and the day after tomorrow I can write Solaris, and that day after tomorrow I can write on Ubuntu, that day after tomorrow I can run on OS by 2, day after tomorrow I will go out on running on Mac OS. Any OS I can run, it never causes any problems for me. Getting, my dear students? Well, now I'm going to enter into extension of the data types. Very shortly, I'm coming to the concept of what? Very shortly, I'm coming to this with the practical proof. Wait 2 minutes. Please give me an ample of time to make you to understand this wonderful situation of why Python is platform independent. Why Python is platform independent and why it is more extra facility compared to Java. Well, come to this. Now, my question is, I'm asking a question in C language. First window, I will open it. Just answer my question. Int will store how many bytes? Very good. Very good. Now I'm asking my question. Beautiful question. More than 2 bytes, where do you store? Understand my question most perfectly. More than 2 bytes, where do you store? Quickly. 4 bytes. You will say float or not? 2 bytes data, you will store it in where? 2 bytes means what? Some space is allocated by storing 16 bits. 1 byte is equal to 8 bits. 2 bytes is equal to how many bits? 16 bits will be stored. More than 16 bits, where do you store? Float you will go. Float will allow how many bytes? 4 into 8, 32. Okay, now more than 2 bytes, where do you go? 4 bytes. That is 16 bytes. And here it is 32. Well, more than 32 bytes, 32 bits, where do you go? Double. 8 into 8 is what? Well, good. More than 64 bits, where do you store? And do you think that our data only 64 bit? 64 bits is a small number. I want to store 1 kilometer data. I want to store. I want to store the biggest number. Where do you go now? More than 8 bytes, where do you go? This is a doubt you need to get during your academics. To take 1 week time, take 10 days time, take 1 month time, you come to me with a solution. You cannot come up. You take the help of any person. 1 week I am giving, take anybody and come to me this solution. In C language, I am asking, learning subject is not a joke. Learning subject is so practically you need to learn it. Did you understand my question first of all? Such a small question in data types, we are not aware of it. More than 2 bytes, you will say float. More than 4 bytes, more than double, hands up. I don't know. Then who will give job? I want to store some millions of data, trillions of data. Will it allow us to store? Impossible. This is my wonderful question. Take 1 week time. Take 1 month time. I gave already from so many years onwards this question. Come to Java. And don't feel why sorry saying this. Because these are all called hackers ranker questions I am giving. Come on now. Come to Java. More than 1 byte, where do you store? More than to start, where do you store? More than int, where do you store? More than long, where do you store? Don't tell that. Don't tell the innocent knowledge. 8 bytes, you will go to float. Huh? Innocent knowledge, that is called. More than 8 bytes, where do you store? Okay, double you are saying. Because extra 15 bits is there. More than 8 bytes, where do you store? More than 8 bits with 15. I want to store 32 bits with 30 decimal places. I want to store 1 GB of data with 100 decimal places. Where do you store? Take 1 week time. Subject is not a joke. Subject is so precious, so power that you enjoy. Anybody says anything, don't believe normally. You believe with practical answers. Unfortunately, in my Java, I'm a originally Java professional, worked for 23-24 years, and last 10 years onwards, I'm dealing with this Python. And these days, completely Python I shifted into because of more trending in the software industry. Next 30 years, only Python will be there. So I'm going to say, and don't mind, in one of the moment, I will tell you, because I gave 1 week time or 20 days time, I will wait for some more days. Any answer comes, I will see. Come with an answer with a practical answer. Don't come with a oral answer. I'm not going to believe any oral thing. I want to believe only program. Now, I'm going to give you, I want to store. Take once again. Now I'm going to, slowly I'm coming to this objects information. Slowly I'm coming to this. Here you come. Into data type. Immediately I will open one practical answer. Because only saying this concept is not that much important. Java I will go and I will go to Java 16 version. I'll take one JShell. JShell, it is called like a Python command prompt, like a Java command prompt. Int data type. A is equal to what? 10. What is that meaning, my dear students? The value called 10 is a number without decimal places, which is called integer in your terms, allocating memory space by the int data type. Int data type, which is named the memory space as A. We are storing the value called what? 10. 10. Okay, sir, we are storing the value called 10, successfully stored. But I am going to store. My requirement is int data type allows us to store how many values? Only one value. 10 is okay. Only one value. Up to certain restriction. Certain 2 bytes means 2 bytes. 4 bytes means 4 bytes. 8 bytes means only 8 bytes. Already given, ma. Please don't go back. Int data type will allow how many bytes? That means, see, that means A is equal to 99999. Yesterday, promo explained. I am saying A is equal to 99999, which is exceeding the range of 4 bytes. See, integer is too large. That means into float, all these things are restricted with size. Restricted with, if I go to Python, let me go to Python. Here I will go. Immediately I will go to Python. Yesterday also I was shown. And I will tell you once again how to install the Python software. Here I am writing A is equal to 99999. Print of A. Happily that A is printed. It is not only that you take a biggest number, whatever the number you take it. Such a biggest number you take it. Print of A. Happily printed. What is the beauty behind this? This is what I want to tell you into your knowledge. For such a small concept called platform independent, I need not to give such a big scientific explanation. Okay, that I want to give you. Let me explain. Still the concept is continuing. Please enjoy that. All the keywords are called what? Data types. Here also called what? They are having limited in size. 1 byte means only 1 byte. 2 bytes means 2 bytes. 4 bytes means 4 bytes. Where is the 4 bytes? Here you see, it is exceeding the range of 4 bytes. That's why it is giving an error. Integer is too large because it exceeds what? 4 bytes. That's why this error. Am I getting any error in Python? What is the difference? That is what I want to say. In Python, everything is stored in the form of what? Objects, not keywords format. Everything is storing in the form of what? I will explain what is an object. Please give me a time of it here. Once again, I am going to my Java related explanation. Yes, students, come on once again. A is equal to 145. Yes, storing. Because int will allow only up to 4 bytes. Okay, let me continue. My requirement today is 145 is nothing but only one value. My requirement is 10 comma row sum 45.56 comma PSF. How many values I am storing? How many values I am storing, ma? I decided to store 4 values in a single variable. Which type it is decided already? Int data type allows us to store only one value. Float data type allows us to store one value. Bool data type allows us to store only one value. All the keywords related data types allows us to store only. It never allows us to store multiple values like that. When I go to the software industry, majority of the times you are storing only one value or more number of values. More number of values. Employee number, employee name, salary, designation, student number, student name, marks, college name, date of birth. So many number of values I want to store. So many number of values I want to store. Such a type of multiple values of different type, not able to store it in which data type? Int data type. See that error you see? Error you see? It is called what? Error. Are you able to understand, students? Now come back to this. Once again, I am asking. All the keyword data types, all the data types in the bracket, keyword related data types. I am saying that predefined data types. Predefined data types stores what values? Single value. Come on, ma. Which value? But never allows us to store. Never allows us to store. Never allows us to store which values? Never allows us to store which values? Multiple values of which type? Different type. Different. Yeah, please understand, my dear students. Please don't lose your concentration. This is what I am very much interested. We are not learning a normal language. We are learning an extraordinary programming language, Java and Python. Why Python is having upper hand on Java? Because writing Java coding is very complex. As a Java expert, I am saying very complex. Right? Calendar generation require 15 to 20 lines. In Python, only 2 lines, which I already shown in the class. Writing Java coding is very complex. Writing that complex code in that is normally, it is very difficult to the programmer. That's why Python is having upper hand on that today. Coming to now, in Java, now I'm going to say, second explanation I'm giving, last but one explanation before Python. In Java, if we want to store which values? Multiple values of which type? Different type, then we must use programmer defined data types. These are all called programmer defined data types. Programmer defined data types. It's really an extraordinary work. This is programmer defined data types. Sir, who will develop the programmer defined data types? In college and all those people, some of them are saying user defined data types. Users will not develop data types. Grammatical mistakes. Who will develop data types? You people will develop. Am I correct? Users will develop. Others who are roaming on the road, they are called users. Will they develop it? No. Who will develop? To develop the programmer defined data types in Java, we use classes concept. Which concept? Very good. Don't worry about the class. In Monday class, I will explain classes concept in Python. Because Python is also comes under object oriented programming. Java also comes under object oriented programming. What is the difference in both of them? I would like to show you with practically even in today itself. Well, sir, now I want to store which data? Number I want to store, name I want to store, marks I want to store. For example, for that, which concept I need to use? Programmer defined data types. By using which concept? Yes. Now I want to show one program. Now I am saying here only I'll add a small code. Please don't lose your concentration. Class is a keyword. Don't worry about the classes. I'm going to show you R&D in Python. This is platform independent concept. All of a sudden I'm explaining Java code I'm writing. It doesn't mean that you are learning Java. I'm showing from my side a very practical explanation I'm giving. Student. Inside of that, you are mentioning what are you storing? STNO. Next, you are mentioning string name. You are mentioning by yourself as float as marks. Enough. Something we will write inside. We never bother about it. Functions and all those things. We will write it close. What is the student, ma? What is the student is acting as here? Is a data type. Which data type? Programmer defined data type. Here student is called what data type? Programmer defined data type. Programmer defined. Very good. So once if I define it a programmer data type, I must create an object. Four values, any number of values I can store. Keyword related variable you take it. Just now I shown you. Int a is equal to 10. This is allowing us to store how many values? 1. A is equal to 145. Allows us to store what? But in our real-time projects allows us to store what? Multiple values of same type, different type, all the types. Best example, when I create a Gmail account, first name, last name, date of birth, username, password of that particular user, these many number of values I have to store it. How to store these many number of values? One programmer defined data type is compulsory. Look at my dear students, I'll create an object. I'm writing, I don't know, maybe bouncing to you, but try to bear it. Create an object. But you can understand in my Python class, compulsory you will understand. Without making you to understand, I will not leave you. I'll definitely understand. Because the first time I am writing a biggest explanation, biggest coding. Create an object, ma. How do you create an object? Student, Java code, this is student. S is equal to what? New student. Student S is equal to new student. Please look into the students. Student S is equal to new student. Do you know what is happening? Internally, this is an object is created. This is an object is created. It is after all one variable. It is going to contain how many partitions? 3 partitions. 3 partitions. What is the first partition location name? STNO. Next location is what, ma? Name. Next is what, ma? Well. What are all the things you defined inside of your class? You will get the memory space for 3 only. What I am entering, ma? S dot STNO is equal to 10. Well, S dot name is equal to something like RS. S dot marks is equal to, I am writing 22.22 F. In Java, I am talking about it. F means what? Float. Internally, values are placed 10. Next is called RS. Next is called marks. What is that? 22.22. Careful students. Whenever I say this S is called what here? Object we can call. S is called what, ma? Object. So what is the difference you are feeling between a normal variable and object? Object is also one variable only. Normal variable will store only, but object related variables are storing how many values? Multiple values it can store. Who has the capacity to store multiple values? Such an object never depends on your OS. Why? Such object designed by a class. Class is designed by the programmer. Understand? Here only I want to connect to you. This object never change the memory space from one OS to, because it is not a predefined data type. It is which data type? Programmer defined data type. Developed by whom? Programmer. And such object never depends on OS. It moves from one OS to what? Yes. Now it is allowing how many values to store? 3. Come on. 3. This object can run on any OS. No problem. Now I am going to say Java limitation immediately. Now I am asking, yes dot college name is equal to OUCET. Allowed or not allowed? Quickly. Allowed or not allowed? Not allowed. It is called error. Sir, why error, sir? Because in our Java, you already mentioned your class will contain how many? You placed 3. It will not allow dynamically to add one more. Object is having limited number of values. Okay, object is allowing more number of values, but how many? As specified by the programmer. How many is specified? 3. How many allowed? You are trying to allow how many? 4th is not allowed. How many are allowed? That means object is running on every OS, but object is having what? Limited number of values. If at all you want to extend, you go to your class and write here string college name na. Understand? Come on, I will show the code immediately. If I show the code, you will get the clarity, because I don't want to explain only explanation. I'll show immediately code also. Which code I am going to show? Java. Please students, don't worry. Sorry showing Java code, C code, because if I don't show all these things, you will not understand what is the meaning of Python. Look at, I'm going to say objdemo.java is my file name. Yes. So class student, please enjoy this coding ma, even though you don't know coding. Int stno. Next, string of what? Yes name. Float of what? Marks. Well, what is this now? Student. Here student is called what? Is called programmer defined data type. Every class name in Python and Java are called what? Well, defined data type. No problem, student. Coming to this obj demo, please create in the main method. I am asking here student s is equal to what? New student of yes dot semicolon you need to give. Yes dot stno is equal to 10. Yes dot name is equal to, yes name is equal to something like rs. Yes dot what? Marks is equal to 22.22f. I will print here students. Please see system dot out dot println. See how much complex statement it is to print my result. In Python, I will use print. An LKG student can understand print will print the data. System dot out dot println. What is println? What is out? What is system? What is the relation between all these things is the biggest headache job. I would explain 45 minutes to you to understand. Right. Now I am saying here yes dot stno. Yes dot stno. Some space I am giving. Yes dot s name. Some space I am giving. Yes dot what? Marks. Please look at that. Marks. Right. Let us save this. Semicolon I must give all the things. Let us save this code. I'll save my code, my dear students. I'll go to my Python in this level. Save this code. Coming to the command prompt. Here you coming to the command prompt. I'll execute my C program. KVR Python 6 p.m. There I saved my program of Java. See, my Java program is here. I'll compile my program. Java C obj demo.java. I'm compiling. First compilation I'm doing. Next execute my Java program. Please see that obj demo, and I'm getting the output as like this. That means one object is having multiple values. All of a sudden I'm writing C name is equal to OUCET. You will get an error. See that error, my dear student. You see the error. Compile it I'm getting an error. Error. Cannot find the symbol. Because our class name allows us to store how many values? Is it allowing fourth value? If at all you want to do it, you can go for what? String CNAME. Now it is allowed. No problem. Now it is allowed. You print that also. Print that also. Plus. Come on, ma. Plus. Yes dot what? Yes, well. Save it. Execute. Compiled happily. Execute it. Getting or not? Tell me, what do you understand? Java predefined data types 2 bytes, 4 bytes, 8 bytes like that. It allows only one value. To store more number of values in Java, which data types? Programmer defined data types. Classes, objects allows more number of values. But how many? Limited. As specified by the programmer, that many values only. And that object never changes the memory space from one OS to. That means objects are dependent on OS or independent from OS. Independent from OS. Come to next. Last and final, I am asking one question. One more I am asking. Yes dot DOB is equal to 16042022, for example. Error compiled. Well, error, semicolon you give it. Error it is. See that. Compile it. Error is coming. It is the Java environment I am showing. Can I go to Python now? Can I go to Python? Yes. So what do you understand about the objects in Java? Objects in Java are allowing only how many values? Multiple values. But how many? Limited. Limited. That too depends on specifying the number of values in class called what? Student. Come to my own place. My own place. Let's go immediately. Come on, ma. Class. What is this now? Others. Say what? Super. Class. Come on. I'm writing what there? I'm not writing anything inside. I'm not writing anything in anything inside. Same. This is called OBJ Python. This is I'm saying OBJ Python dot py. Beautiful coding. I'm not writing anything. Don't worry about pass. Least bother. I'm writing main program. Yeah. S is equal to what here? Student. This is the syntax for creating an object in Python. What is student, ma? Class. What is S? Object. Of which class? In Python, no keywords related data types. All the data types in Python are called what? Objects. Why? ROSM has eliminated keyword related data types. ROSM has eliminated keyword related data types because to avoid the restriction on the data size. 2 bytes, 4 bytes. Did you remember? Int a is equal to 10. A is equal to 999999. Allowed or not allowed? In where? Java. Allowed or not allowed? Because it has restriction on the size. Such a type of restriction Python programming completely eliminated. All the keywords in C, C++ are related to data types there. But when you come to Python, no data types are given in the form of what? Keywords, but they are given in the form of classes. They are given in the form of why classes they gave? Because whose objects will allow us to store limited in size or unlimited in size? Unlimited in size. Now I am showing. See, I am writing. Please look at ma. I am writing. Yes dot underscore dict. Dear students, please don't worry about this. I am showing the miracle of this object management. Save this, ma. Save this. Save this. In the same place only, try to save it. OBJ Python.py. Coming to this, which environment I need to come? Python environment. No problem. In the same place only. In the same place. Already executed Java related. In the same place I am executing. Py. What is my program name? My program name is OBJ. Sorry. OBJ. Pyth dot what? Py. It is empty. No data present. Yes or no? Yeah. Come on, go there. Immediately, I am writing yes dot stno is equal to 10. Yes dot yes name is equal to rs. Next, yes dot marks is equal to what? 22.22. Print the same thing once again. Print the same thing once again. See the beauty, my dear students. Execute. How many values are printed? Number, name, marks. How many? 3. Please go. Once again, I will go. Here I am writing s.dob is equal to 16/04/2022. Now say once again print. Is it saying that any restriction, guys? Execute. Is it saying any restriction? No. How many values like that I can enter? Unlimited number of values you can enter. Did you understand, my dear students? What is the difference between Java object and Python object? Java objects can store multiple values, but they are limited in number as specified by the programmer. But in Python, unlimited number of values are there. Since object is holding unlimited number of values, these objects definitely does not depends on what? Objects are not restricting on OS. This object is common for all types of OSs, and hence they are what? Platform independent or platform dependent? Try to analyze by yourself. Java objects, Python objects. Try to analyze and see carefully. Java objects will allow multiple values. Python objects also allows multiple values. Difference, please. Java objects allows multiple values with a limited number as specified by the two independent to all OSs, because the class of that object is designed by me. Yes or no? Python objects are going to allow multiple values. That class also designed by me, but it is allowing unlimited number of values in the object. Did you understand? Whose memory management is so perfect? Python objects memory management is so perfect, and whose objects are independent to all OSs. That's why Python is what language? Platform independent language. Such a biggest explanation, you can't give it in the interview point of view. That's why I'm giving a close relationship. Once again, I will go to my Python environment. See, my dear students, once again, I'm asking, A is equal to what? What is A in Python? Object. Everything is an object in Python. Sir, print it, sir. Please print it once and show me, sir. A and a type of what? What is A? Object. Behind of every object, what is there? Don't go back. What is yes? Object. What is the object of which class? What is student? What is yes? Super. Go to Java. Go to Java. What is student? What is yes? In Python, everything is what? Behind object, who is there? Class. What is the difference between class and object? In Monday class, I will give you. Don't worry. Please look at ma. What is A? What is 10? Value. Stored in where? Object. What is the type? What is int? What is A? What is int in C? Keyword. What is int in Java? Keyword. Where are you, boss? Where are you, boss? Int. That's why. What is int in C language? Int in C language. How many bytes? Okay. One more. Beautiful. What is int in Java? How many bytes? Yes, C. Go to Java. Once again, I'm asking. Int B is equal to what? Last and final. 10 is stored. B is equal to 99999. Will it allow us to store? Because int is a keyword, it has a restriction. 4 bytes. But in Python, come on, immediately. B is equal to 99999. Such a bigger 9 I am storing. What is the beauty of storing such a bigger 9, my dear students? Because B is not a keyword variable. It is an object. Please see, ma. Everything is printed. What is int? Class. What is B? In Python, all are what? Behind objects, who is there? That's it. Who are you? Student. Objects you are. Who are you? How do you say you are object? Hands are there. Ears are there. eyes are there, teeth is there, tongue is there, hands, heart is there, legs are there. So many are there or not? All these components are there in where? Object. You are what? Who is your class? Inta. What a beautiful knowledge. Who are you? Student. Your type is what? That is called your academics. Who are you? Object. Student got object. What knowledge is there? I don't know. Who are you? What is your type? Student. Who am I? No, I am an object. Object means touch and feel, storing. I will give this knowledge on Monday. What is object? It has the space to store my data. Who am I? Object. What is my type? Teacher. What is this? Online students don't know. It is a duster I am keeping and I am placing somewhere, some place. It is an object. Anything you see in real life, it is called what? Behind objects, who is there? Class is there. Right? You are in your hand, there is a mobile, right or not? What is that? What is the type? Mobile. Types of mobiles are called what? Objects. Mobile is what? Class. But some of the people are saying in your academics, mobile is an object, car is an object. That is all called blunder. That's why jobs will not come. What is a bus? No, class. Types of buses. That is your academic knowledge. Bus is not there. Types of buses are there. Red bus, green bus, yellow bus, Volvo bus, AC bus, that bus, this bus. That is your old knowledge. Flashback 1947, outdated knowledge. What is a bus? Class. Types of buses. Of cars. Honda City, I-20, Desire, etc. To park my car, I require space. Am I correct? Are you parking car or type of car? I am parking type of car. I need space. That is called object. What is just a car? Class. Okay, don't worry about class and object. Monday I will give perfect answer for you. Okay now. Today's class, are you able to follow? Students in the online, are you following students? Are you following students? Students in the online. Very good. Fine. Well, so don't take your bags ready. Listen. Lot of content is there. Is it clear or I am eating away your brain? Am I eating your brain? No. If I don't eat away your brain like this, you will not come up. You will go to 1947 black and white story. You will feel that I know something. That something is useless. And you don't feel because of my words. I am speaking only facts. I asked a question. What is the bus you are saying? Object. That is a blunder. Bus is not a. Bus is what? Types of buses. Last and final. Aeroplane. Aeroplane. Indian Airlines. Jet Airways. Deccan Airlines. Good. Who are you? What is your class? Fan. Class. Not working. That is your academics. Not only you, everybody like that outside. But when I come to programming, I'll show miracles. Programming is different. What the knowledge we have is different. And you don't feel it, I will definitely getting into my line of control. That is my talent in the class. Fine now. Last and final. Last and final. Difficult question I will ask you. Bottle. Huh? Very good. Types of bottles. Very good. Tomorrow you will forget, I know. Monday you will completely forget. Correct? Because so many friends, mobile, so many antivirus tools are there with you. First few days I will wash out the virus from your brain. Later I will install antivirus tools. Then I will inject my Python. You don't feel it. I am speaking very closely with you. First day I asked you questions. What is OS? You said only full forms. That is the very biggest virus. Full forms is the very biggest virus. Slowly we come out of it. Still your knowledge like anything when you are there in my class. When you are out of the class, I can't do anything. But inside the class, I will do many things. So, okay, leave it all these things. Coming to programming conclusion here. What the conclusion says? All the data types in C, C++ are called what? Keywords. Allows us to store only limited values. Restriction on size. Come to Java. Platform independent. But they are allowing to store only one value. But we came to programmer defined data types, classes and object. Stores what values? Multiple values. Same type, different type, all the types. But size in restriction, limited. Came to Python immediately. Objects of Python stores. And those objects are working on every OS, because objects of my class never depends on any OS, that are neutral to all OSs. That's why Python is. Yes, that is what I want to convince. Such a small point. See how many things I explained. Almost 1 hour 40 minutes over. 1 hour 20 minutes over. 1 hour 25-30 minutes over. Only on the small area. I can say only one thing. Running on every OS. That's why Python is platform independent. Because of that, if you go to interview, they will ask you how it is platform independent. Please show me. I'll give this explanation. You'll say wonderful. Scientific explanation, they will say. This type of knowledge is required on every moment of the class. Okay, students? Fine. So, all the Python objects are what? Python is platform independent because of what? Objects with limited values. What? Objects with, come on ma, objects with, yes, unlimited values. And here dependent, because data types of C, C++ are size restricted. This is the point I want to give it. And more elaborated things, I'll give it in the form of in the programming. Still, we are going to discuss in the programming further about this platform independent. In every moment of it, every feature will be carried out in my class. Okay, students? And objects are not going to depends on the size of our. Objects are not depends on our OS. Objects are totally independent from